Geraint Davies.
Mr. Speaker, our fundamental values are democracy, human rights and the rule of law, and those are our fundamental values across Europe. And yes, we now face a situation where we have a Prime Minister who's saying he would prefer to die in a ditch than to deliver a law that is developed by our democracy, the mother of all democracies, in order to protect people's human rights, from a no deal where we haven't seen the implications of the no deal, but a lot of it has leaked out. The reality is nobody in Britain voted for no deal. People did vote. They didn't vote for no deal, get out, do or die on the 31st of October. They don't want to die. The majority did vote to leave, but those people, certainly in Swansea, say to me, they voted for more money, more jobs, more control, and now they learn they won't get any of those from a Brexit. We see Ford leaving Bridgend, we see Airbus leaving, we see problems with Tata Steel, we see no more control, and we see no more money. And those people who voted leave deserve a final say, a final vote. And certainly in terms of no deal, they didn't vote for that at all. It's a bit like people agreeing to go to the cinema to see a love story or a comedy and ending up with a chainsaw massacre. And we said, oh, we agreed we'd go to the cinema, but it's the chainsaw massacre. We've got to go in. Which, of course, links me back into no deal, because in Wales, certainly, we're going to see the slaughter of millions of sheep because we simply can't export them with the immediate tariffs of 40% that will be imposed. We know in Britain there's 1 million diabetic people who will be at risk if they haven't got enough insulin, and the list goes on. Yet the Prime Minister, who fails to turn up at this debate about whether he'll deliver the rule of law, is now known not to be negotiating, but instead spending £100 million of taxpayers' money delivering propaganda when he knows from Operation Sledgehammer or whatever it's called, Yellowhammer, that basically we face calamitous ruin. The unfortunate truth is the Prime Minister is spreading the contagion of nationalist populism. The basic idea that we're better here than the Europeans over there, we've got a problem there, it's their fault over there. We've seen it before with Donald Trump, we're talking about the Mexicans and the wall, talking about the Muslims or the blacks, we've seen it in Germany with the Jews. Now we've heard it here talking about the Europeans. And the likes of Nigel Farage, his narrative has now been taken on by our Prime Minister when he says, oh, they voted leave 3 years ago, nothing could be simple, just leave. And the reason they're not leaving is because MPs are corrupt and parliamentary democracy is rotten. Well, it's very easy to all agree to leave here. The difficult business is all agreeing where we're going to. And it's no surprise if a lot of parliamentarians think we're too close to Europe, a lot of parliamentarians think we're too far from Europe in a deal. We don't agree. So it's not easy, and everybody here knows that. But that is spread around basically to put across the lie that it's the people versus Parliament. It's the people now versus the courts. Well, what we're here to do and talk about tonight is to defend our fundamental values of parliamentary democracy and the rule of law. And what is under attack from a sort of the footway to neo-fascism are those very institutional values. And what the Prime Minister wants to do is have an immediate election in the hope that the Brexit vote will unite and they'll think he's mad enough to vote for, and the Remain will divide, and he'll go through and say, we'll have no deal, everything will be all right. But we know what this is bringing. We know what people like Dominic Cummings and others, and Farage and others, want. They want to undermine the fundamental democratic institutions, whether it's the BBC, whether it's the civil service, whether it's the universities, whether it's parliamentary democracy itself. So we face a chilling time here and a moment of truth as to whether the Prime Minister will, in fact, obey democratically agreed laws. He's willing to go round promoting the lie that no deal can deliver without massive collateral damage. And the democratic world is looking to us, as the mother of all parliaments, to see whether this Parliament can ensure the rule of law and democracy goes forward. We must show the rest of Europe, the rest of the world, that we will not bow to the language of popular tyranny, but we will stand true to the rule of law and democracy and move forward.